And we're not done with Pakistan. Imran Khan's hypocrisy has landed him back in the headlines. He accuses the West of Islamophobia. He accuses France of clamping down on Islam. He accuses India of alienating Kashmiris. He even takes on Saudi Arabia once in a while, accusing it of ignoring the plight of Muslims. But, in his own words, Imran Khan frankly doesn't know much about what's happening in Xinjiang. He doesn't have enough knowledge, doesn't know the exact situation, and would never talk about it in public. Why? Because the Chinese are sensitive people. These are all of his previous statements, his words, poor attempts at denial of Xinjiang's reality. And now the Pakistani Prime Minister has come up with the mother of all denials. He says that he believes in the Chinese version of the Xinjiang story. The remarks are hardly surprising, frankly. When you're buried neck deep in debt, you'd frankly believe everything that your lender tells you. Listen to this.
Our interaction with the Chinese officials, that version of what is happening in Xinjiang is completely different to the version of what we hear from the Western media and the Western governments. So, because we have a very strong relationship with China, and because we have a relationship based on trust, so we actually accept the Chinese version. You know, what they say about their programs in Xinjiang, so we accept it.
Did you notice the pronunciation? He says Xinjiang. That's what the Uyghurs called the region before the Communist Party took control and gave it a Chinese name, Xinjiang. Before the Uyghurs were forced to act, live and dress Chinese. Anyway, geography and history are not Imran Khan's forte. He thinks Germany and Japan share borders. Xinjiang must have surely been a mistake. Here's another one. The Pakistani Prime Minister said that he believes what China says about its programs in Xinjiang. And then he goes on to say that there are far worse human rights violations that get no attention. So he's unwittingly acknowledging that the Chinese are indeed committing atrocities on Uyghurs. Watch this.
The second point is that we find it a little bit hypocritical when there are much worse human rights issues in the world which get no attention. The second point is that we find it a little bit hypocritical when there are much worse human rights issues in the world which get no attention.
Worse human rights violations, no comparisons can be drawn, but we really can't think of any worse human rights violations than China's cultural and religious genocide of Uyghur Muslims. Almost 2 million of them are in jail. The rest are forced to attend re-education camps. They're released only when they succumb to Chinese beliefs and practices. Uyghur women are subjected to forced sterilization, abortion, and state-sanctioned rape. Uyghur mosques are razed down to build toilets. Uyghur refugees are charged with treason and killed. And this is not the Western version of what's happening in Xinjiang. These are stories told by Uyghur Muslims themselves. But for Imran Khan, these Muslims do not count when he talks about growing Islamophobia or the growing crimes against Muslims the world over. Because the idea of Muslim solidarity is just a political tool for him. So he uses it when it suits him. WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.